So I'm Becky Ducsik, and I'm with the Phinery Design Studio, and I'm here today with 𝗕𝗵𝗶𝗆 to check out my own house. What really struck me about this house is just the character and the age of it. So it's a 1911 Craftsman. We took the leap and we said, okay, let's get inside this house and see what it can really become. We took the main floor as our first really big project, and we're gonna go check out exactly what we did to transform the space so that it was more functional while also keeping the character of the home. So you had this gorgeous built-in here that had historical stained glass in the windows. It had this great big mirror. And I really didn't want to get rid of this built-in, but it was blocking the whole view from the kitchen. And then over here, we have a staircase that now opens into the dining room. Whereas before we'd have to go around the corner to go up the stairs. Now it opens. So when you walk into the front door, you see the staircase and you see visibility all the way into the backyard, which is really, it makes the space feel so much bigger when you have all these windows. I loved this backsplash. It has a glossy reflection, so I get all this light coming in from the kitchen and the backsplash reflects all that light. A lot of people might not think about, do I have a glossy tile or a matte tile? That's a huge decision actually. Also, the scale of the tile makes a big difference. So with this tile, we have really small little 1-inch hex tiles. I also replicated that pattern in our bathroom when we remodeled it. So it's nice to kind of carry those shapes throughout the space in a way that isn't as expected. Another aspect that I really gravitated to was the dark cabinets. I have always loved white kitchens, and a lot of people say, oh, you must have a white kitchen. Well, in this house, it was just impossible. I have way too much white. We have all this millwork, wainscot, box beams. I had to create some contrast in the kitchen, and I just like contrast. I feel like it gives the kitchen a lot of energy. So we went with this dark indigo color. It's 𝗕𝗵𝗶𝗆 navy, tinted a little bit darker than that. And oh my gosh, it just creates like this dramatic feel in here that's also really warm and cozy. So another thing that we really try to incorporate into this kitchen that creates a lot of warmth is the mixed metals. So we have brass, we have like a bronze with some of our light fixtures. I have the little glass knobs on some cabinets that were reclaimed from the built-in that we took down to try to bring that in. And it's a little bit of a science on how to mix metals so that it doesn't look too inconsistent. One of the key pieces of this kitchen that I love is that we've been able to create a space for less clutter and create a streamlined look with these paneled appliances. Right here, you're seeing a French door refrigerator with two lower freezer drawers, and it's right next to the pantry. And then I've built the cabinet all the way up so that up here is all of our cookie sheets lined up and Pyrex. You would be amazed at how much this cabinet holds in a really organized, easy, accessible way. Paneling appliances is definitely a great way too if you're incorporating brass into the finishes in your kitchen to not have so much stainless, which can really compete with the brass. Another great aspect of this kitchen is the separate breakfast bar. If you have room to build this in when you're remodeling, it is huge. It's amazing because you have like this completely separate workstation from those who might be cooking or hanging out and enjoying at the dining room table or at the island. This is a great place to come over and make coffee. You can microwave. I actually have my dog food and cat food stored down here with their bowls. It's just a nice little separate space. One fun story about this particular breakfast bar is that I found some salvaged chicken wire fused glass from a church in New York, and I found a dealer who could cut it for me, and I had my cabinet maker, who was amazing, install it, and it's made all the difference. Again, it brings that vintage look of a turn-of-the-century home and replicates it. And this is probably my favorite part of the kitchen. So part of the design concept with this kitchen was to blend a modern look with a vintage look. For example, the black in these sconces up here, how much black is that going to really add into your space? Well, this gives it just a touch of that modern. And then you notice the handles as well here on the windows help echo that black, creating more of a modern look against all of the brass antique elements. And then coming over to the French doors, having these square handles also done in the black. And I think it gives it just a little bit of that modern look. And it's this nice juxtaposition between the black modern components with the brass, more antique, kind of anthropology type look. Farmhouse sinks are the greatest way to bring in that old world element into your kitchen. I ended up choosing a sink that has a drain that's actually on the right side of the sink. It's a single basin, so I can pile all the dishes in there. Everything drains off to the right, and what it does is it allows the cabinet underneath your sink to the left completely open for storage. So something to think about when you're thinking about putting in a sink is to get a drain that's off center. This stove came in a variety of different colors: emerald green, blue, red, and then all these different finishes, from black hardware to a nickel hardware to the brass. And because it was made in Europe, I couldn't get the strike off of the actual brass on the hardware. But oh my gosh, this stove, when it arrived, I was just crossing my fingers that this brass was gonna work with the rest of the kitchen. It turned out being perfect. It was a little bit more on the gold side than the rest of the hardware in the kitchen, but that's what made it even better, because it helped the piece really stand out. I remember when I first started thinking about the design for this kitchen, and I had this beautiful inspiration photo of these black French doors with a transom window above. And I was just in love with these black French doors. And I thought, this is gonna be the kitchen. We're gonna have black French doors. Well, then it evolved, and then I said, well, I also want dark hardwood floors. And okay, now I also want dark navy cabinets. And I thought, well, this is a lot of dark. How is this gonna pull off? So the real solution there was with the countertops. The countertops, because they're polished, they do reflect light, and they are also really indestructible, which is great. So, but from a design standpoint, they reflect so much light into the room. And combined with this full wall backsplash that also is polished and glossy, it reflects all the light coming in from the other side of the room and really brings a lot of light into the space. The one thing I didn't get through this whole kitchen design was the dark black French doors. We ended up with white, but I love the way it all pulled together, and that was the one kind of change you make at the last minute. You think it's all coming together. I had the black doors, they were gonna get painted. Same day, I'm like, nope, they have to be white, because you kind of morph and change as you go through your project. And in the summertime, we can open those doors up and we have great visibility into the backyard, great flow from a entertainment standpoint. Kids can run in and out, and it's really functional. So I'm Becky Ducsik with the Phinery Design Studio, and many thanks to 𝗕𝗵𝗶𝗆 for coming and visiting with me today. It was really fun shooting this project, and I hope you guys learned something along the way.